Hi, this video is about the 7th song on the new album, and this one is called Relief. It's a little hard to play without the bass, but I try my best. It goes like this, and I think I'm going to do a loop of that already to show you how I'm improvising on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the whole thing. I see it as, one long form. Actually, it isn't that long, but one part. And at the end, we have this relief part. So at the end, we have this 1-bar chord jam, chord loop that is played 4 times. That has this very gospel-y character to it. So that's the relief part. That's actually why the song is called that way. And the first part seems to be somehow more tough. It's got a lot of bluesiness to it, I think. A lot of ideas from the diminished chords, and it sounds pretty rough, and then the relief part can take off at the end. So here's what it is. It's in G, and I'm playing like a G power chord at the beginning, no third. Actually, I'm just playing this, and Frank is playing the bass note. And then it goes like, almost like a blues turnaround. I used this interval of a 6, and I'm playing these 2 notes, while Frank is playing an F in the bass, which makes it like a B flat minor with an F in the bass. Then it goes back to G, but with a D in the bass. And then it stays on the G note for the melody, but the bass goes to D flat, which makes it D flat diminished. And then these are the first 2 bars, and then it's kind of repeated. So again, G power chord, B flat minor with an F in the bass, G with the D in the bass, and then the melody note changes to C, the bass note goes down to D flat again, and I'm doing this little move that makes it, which is like D flat minor major 7, or could also be out of the diminished, but then I'm always going to the F, so it is like D flat major 7. So these are the first 4 bars. Then it goes to bar 5, same melody as in the beginning, but now there's a C in the bass, which makes it, it's like the subdominant, and it's like C sus2. Now the melody is slightly different. It goes So really bluesy, the flat 5 and the 4th. It again goes to B flat minor, but now also with a B flat in the bass. Then it goes to A minor, G as top note, as melody note, and then it goes to this chord. This is D flat, G and C. And Frank is playing an E flat in the bass, so that makes it an E flat 13. So bar 5 and 6. Then it goes back to the G like in the beginning. And at that point we arrive at the relief part. G with D in the bass, C with E in the bass. Excuse me. And we play the whole thing as the head, and then we play the form for solos, I think 2 or 3 times on the record, and then we play the head again, so pretty much classic jazz arrangements. Head, solos, and head again. And at the end we stay in the relief part, so it's open, and we really celebrate. We really celebrate that relief. And I think the relief jam at the end is almost as long as the tune before on the record. Yeah, I think that's about the general structure and the composition. The choice of notes and chords is pretty much out of ideas using the good old diminished thing. I told you before about that, so that's what Charlie Christian did. And I like that sound so much. And I think it's really essential to the blues sound and connected to that. So I tried to use it in different ways. And what I thought of in this case, I also wanted to use the F in the bass, but in combination with the diminished chord. And that makes this B flat minor with F in the bass. But I am thinking of this chord more like, it's like G half diminished with F in the bass. So it's like, and I think this is really a great chord and a great blues chord, because usually you would think of this chord, you know, like the 2 in minor. So a 2-5-1 would be, in F minor would be something like this. And that's totally fine. That's what it is. But if you use it in other circumstances, it can be something different, I think. So in this case, I'm thinking of the first chord. Okay, it's G major. The second chord is G half diminished. Then it's G major again. And remember, then it goes to D flat diminished, which is like G diminished. So I'm thinking the whole thing at the beginning is like in G. G major, G half diminished, G major, G full diminished. the same thing again. And then it goes to the D flat major, which leads us to the C. Then the B flat major appears, and again it could be seen as the G half diminished, but I think at that point I'm really thinking more like B flat minor. Then it goes to A minor, the 2 of G, and to the E flat 13, which is, I think, also part of the diminished thing. So remember, if you remember the family of blues chords, I think of all the diminished triads out of that scale. Also, no, the triads, the major triads out of the diminished scale. That's it. I think of them, as part of the blues harmony. So it's like A minor would be in G, and A major would be in G. Sorry, that gets even too confusing for me. A major in G, C major in G, E flat in G, and F sharp in G. So these are all triads, major triad out of the diminished scale. And E flat 13, I think of it as G diminished. Let me improvise a little bit on what I recorded at the beginning, and I'll tell you why I'm playing what I'm doing. Let's see how that works. 1, 2, 3, G major, half diminished, major again, full diminished, major, half diminished, C, B flat minor, and the relief part is always, after all that bluesiness of the first part. And I must confess, when I'm really playing, I'm not thinking like that. I try to find beautiful melodies, and I do a mixture of, major-ish blues and minor-ish blues and some diminished ideas. Also, when I'm just playing with Frank, who is in this tune just playing the bass notes, I get some freedom to use maybe at one point this color and at another point that color, and it doesn't get in the way because there's just a bass note under it. So if I'm playing really to those chords, I have to really take more care about playing the right notes, I think. Anyway, after all the bluesiness of the first part, the relief part is always pretty much in G major. Let me try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think that's pretty much all about it. I'm really happy with this record, and I want to say thanks again to Frank and Etienne. They did an amazing, they are so amazing musicians. And I remember on that track at the end, the relief part, where it gets really beautiful, and Frank is playing really tough, and he's almost slapping. And this choice of sound and attitude, how he plays at the end of that tune, man, this is just so cool. And I am so happy about working with these guys. So, thank you very much for your attention, and see you maybe next time. Bye bye.